Hello, I'm Diana Kanecki, founder of Kanecki Art, um, Kanecki Associates Incorporated, DKA Strategic Planning. Today I'd like to talk about and share a memory about what summer was like when I went to Parkside. When I went to Parkside, I originally started my first class in 1978, and that was when I was still in high school as a summer course in communications and educational communication media. Um, when I formally started Parkside after graduation from high school, it was the early '80s, and the thing about even before I started Parkside, it was a part of my culture for many years, even starting at age 14. Part of the thing was basically was the library, which is a big place of Parkside. It's a major research library, millions of volumes, vast archives, um, and also facilities for making videos, meeting, and it's a very social library. It has its talking sections and its quiet sections. Um, the thing I remember about Parkside though too is it was that um, it wasn't a campus where basically there was the spring semester, there's the fall semester, and then in between it was dead. It was a campus where even during the summer people would come in and meet by the magazine carols, where there are print editions of magazines, more quite a bit, and people would share what they saw in the different magazines, different journals, and it was as a multicultural thing. It actually was like what was referred to as the Great Hall of Knowledge, with some looking up and others pointing to look down. I'm always looking up, and many friends of mine are saying, well, they're sort of like Socrates, to always keep grounded as well, in addition to. So, and during this summertime, we used to, we in that off time we used to share ideas, work on little projects here and there, and it really wasn't work. It really is fun because you really should do something that you like to do. I mean, and the thing is, so it was as a case of basically a university used all year round. And the thing is, one should be able to feel comfortable and not just come and go for class and then leave again. But another important thing is, the most important thing is the people that you meet. What type of friendships do you form? What type of relationships? Um, there is a difference between a friendship and a relationship. A friendship means that basically you care about each other. However, you're not to the point where you may want to become a couple or you may want to become married or joined in a civil union. It can be um, same gender, opposite gender, different pansexuals, asexual, non-sexual, different types of things. The thing is, in a friendship though, it's also a thing where you're not. It's there's something more to the friendship other than just really just feeling the need to be a couple. I still, my personal belief is one should exist as a couple if they're willing to accept um, certain conditions and requirements for being a couple. I mean, part of it is biblical, part of it is not. But um, another thing goes sometimes about friendship. Sometimes, depending on one's financial situation or other situations, it's not possible to formally exist as a couple because there are certain things that need to be taken care of. So basically, friendships offer a way to sort of have a benefit of a couple to get through things economically or sometimes some sort of difficult times, and then become a couple basically maybe later. But the main thing is with friendship. So if friendship is still both realize that there's certain commitments that they can't do to being a couple. But now when someone is a couple, there's some thing there are greater requirements and responsibilities that one has to think about. For example, what about fidelity? What's both partners' view on fidelity? What about sharing of expenses? What about daily life? Um, how are they gonna help each other emotionally, physically, psychologically, and um, and also how are they going to do this within a legal structure? Because as friends, it's not a legal structure. You two people are friends, and they and so that so they're not necessarily legally bound to help each other. But when they become a couple, at one point they will become legally bound, whether they're married, form a civil union, or something, or some other legal engagement. And then if they decide they can honor that, then it can be difficult or messy to dissolve that legal arrangement. So, but the thing is, what I got off track there. But the thing is, um, what I remember about Parkside though is it um, it was a case where ideas flow, and also a case where people did do projects, have contests with each other, have the programming contest. Um, and I actually would like to see that the ACM and the IEEE do bring a programming contest back to Parkside because um, those were always great contests. Just like how the theater department participates in the Kennedy Center contest for theater design, as I came in this morning, I saw a poster with a few friends I knew, and I'm glad to see that their name was on the board, and for their work in that because all of them are very dedicated and do put a lot of effort in high creativity, and it is a joy to see all of them up there because I've for me it's I like walking past the costume shop because I like to see what's being worked on for the play, and also sometimes if I do get a chance to chat when there are free moments, is nice to do so. And that the main thing is in any place you go, it's the people you meet in the relationships you form. Those are what help you in the future because when you do have difficulty, you friends and partners and acquaintances do help you get through difficult moments more so than actually having a lot of cash or huge credit card account because there's some things that where more things that you actually need people than what you actually need of money. And when one is younger, people think, well, you need a lot of money to do things, but no, not really. As you get older, you discover it. I mean, just to give you a practical example, when I first started taking Metro to travel to Chicago and go around Chicago, at that time, the round trip fare to Chicago without a disability card was $8. So I would go to Comdex, and then what I would do from Comdex is I would take a taxi from Ogilvy over to McCormick Place and a taxi back, and I'd buy something at Comdex to eat there, and that's good. I had a chance to socialize, had a chance to meet people. But eventually, what I learned from experienced older people who were there was first thing, bring a brown bag lunch. Um, there's no sin, there's no shame in eating from a brown bag. And then if you want to get something at the convention site, fine, go ahead, but at least you don't have to spend as much. And the second thing is, if you can split a cab with someone, split a cab with someone. or if we want to take the CTA from Ogilvy to Metro where they announce the stops, that's $2 basically to go from Ogilvy to McCormick Place. And and the most important thing I learned was by taking the training rather than trying to find parking at Soldier Field. Well, nowadays it's saving another $50. So the point is, all these things I learned from interacting with people, having them share their story, share their experience, and I shared mine. And by doing so, it wasn't a case where money was transferred because basically they were acting as a friendly conversation, but the value from it is lasts for many years, and also many times when we see each other, we'd visit and stop and say hello. It is important. It is the people you meet, and the people you meet do help you, and it's important you try to help as what you can. But um, and the thing is, when someone does help you, realize when they are helping you and not using you, and also try not to use people as well, because it's very easy, but don't. Um, the thing is, the relationships you form at college, when you travel about, are important. And that's the reason why I'm glad Parkside now has the dorms, because the dorms do add an additional culture that was missing to Parkside many years ago when I went. And as compared, but even as a commuter campus back then, we had computer fairs, we had programming contests, and we had other fairs, which helped eliminate the sole aspect of just being a community campus. So it is important to think about people you meet, and try to make a friend more than an enemy. Um, and because someone you meet may have a different opinion, it doesn't mean that you have to believe on the same aspect as they do to their opinion. Good friends can have different beliefs and still be good friends and share ideas. They don't have to be good friends because they share one belief. Like they don't have to be good friends because the Democrats. They don't have to be good friends because they're Republican. They don't have to be good friends because they belong to this church or that church. I I have friends. Many of whom have very strong views, conservatively, and faith-based views, and a little bit stronger than mine, a little bit more than mine. But we still get along together. We still share. We still help each other out. The point is we respect each other. That it's better that we all have different points of view, that we don't see everything from a single tunnel. Um, we see things wide. We see a wide area. We see an open area. That's why it is important to have friends that are diverse. And a policy I like in the theater department, which I became aware of a few years ago, is that um, the policy of meeting someone who's different in attitude and lifestyle, or just belief than what meet a diverse set of people, because that and I think that is a great attitude, because that's what Parkside was when I went in the early '80s, and it continued for quite a while. There were moments where basically other influences tried to change this to get to a more conforming type system, and it's been an ebb and flow. Um, but the thing is, it's important to have an open and meet people. Lastly, I just would like to address the issue of, yes, it's good to listen, and it's good to listen critically. And the thing is, one thing to watch out for, though, is try not to be overly skeptical. overly opinionated, overly stubborn, because that frustrates anyone from working with anyone else. Okay, yes, if someone presents an idea and you want to question, okay, the skepticism is okay as long as it's fair and as long as it's kind. Um, but if someone's being overly skeptical just as a way to sort of be an obstructionist or a stone or basically to stop an idea because they didn't present it, basically um, not invented here type philosophy or not in my backyard philosophy. I mean, then that's a case of being overly skeptical, overly harsh. Because the one thing is we can always listen. And if someone is not even willing to listen and someone's not even willing to try to let someone try an experiment to see if it works or an organization, there's something wrong. And that's the reason why um, in university life is supposed to be about where you meet friends, you try different ideas, and you also learn how to do it in a way that basically that still keeps your identity and also keeps you going, keeps everyone else going. Well, let me know what you think. I'm on Twitter at Diana1A, and I prefer to receive responses via Twitter. Um, Thank you again.